it's not so much worrying if it is used appropriately. Our only worry is that the practice is being abused mainly as a result of financial considerations. We know some of these institutions who are conferring honorary doctoral titles to persons who ask them to pay as much as $12,000. Then it becomes a business activity. And that is what we are against. When persons get this honor deservingly, they are not supposed to use their titles. The titles are meant to be part of their achievements as a decoration or on their series. The point is that if we don't check this abuse of academic titles, it will undermine the quest of persons to earn these degrees. If persons know that they can obtain these honorary doctoral titles by paying, the motivation to study and contribute to knowledge to earn a doctoral title will not be there. And if we are not careful, gradually, we are going to kill the interest of persons who want to legitimately acquire this degree by enrolling in accredited institutions and going through the program to obtain this qualification. So we want to implore everybody, including the media, to help us, that this practice should not be encouraged. And we are pleading with all those who have been honored with these honorary doctoral titles to at best use them on their CVs in order not to diminish interest in persons who want to earn these degrees. Because if I can pay for it, if I can buy it, why do I go and sit in the classroom to study? You know what I mean? The motivation will be gone. You know what I mean? In other jurisdictions, this practice is not acceptable. It's not allowed. You know what I mean? And as I said, if you go to Germany, because of how they revere doctoral titles, when you even become a professor, you still keep the title. So all of us must work together to ensure that this practice is not abused. Sadly, some of these persons even obtain the honorary doctoral title from institutions that are not even accredited. Mushrooms in institutions are awarding qualifications. And this practice is not acceptable, and we must stop that. You know what I mean? There's some persons in this country who have been honored. I know President Kufuor has several of them. He never uses them. President Kufuor has several of them. He never uses them. President John Mahama, several of them, he never uses them. Okay, President Rawlings also has some. He never uses them. Our late brother and father, Kofi Annan, he had over 30 of them. He never used any of them. Why do people want to use them? I don't understand. And as I said earlier on, I think that most of these persons who use them lack self-confidence. They lack self-confidence. That is why they are using it. And I've been telling people that what is in the title? It's not a title that you hold. It's what you can deliver, what you can do. People are looking for examples, how you affect society, and not a title you are using. Titles mean nothing if you cannot show us what you have been able to do with the title. The universities in this country are doing well under the constraint within which we find ourselves. Universities in this country have been able to produce persons of quality. I'm a product of a university in Ghana. There are a lot of persons who we see and are happy about their progress. So I think that we are doing well, especially the reforms that this government, is putting in the education sector. The reform that are being spearheaded by the Minister for Education, Dr. Matopoko Prempe, under the able leadership of the President, Nana Danko Akufo-Addo. So much is being done to address the issues of quality that you are asking me of. For example, as I said, at the college of education level, we have introduced a 4-year B.Ed program, and the requirement to enroll onto any college of education in this country is the same requirement that you need to enroll on any university in this country. So the standard has been lifted high. That also will positively affect quality. As we speak, we have even developed a national assessment policy where we have even we have tried to make sure that assessment is more formative as compared to summative. Okay, so these are some of the things we are doing to improve upon quality education in this country. How to have lecturers of quality. Now we are saying that we need terminal degree holders to be able to teach in tertiary education in institutions. All these are interventions that are being put in place to achieve that. As we speak, we are all aware that the government is trying to put together a tertiary education policy that is useful, that will shape the direction of tertiary education delivery in this country. The public universities bill is also critical in helping us to streamline activities within the tertiary education landscape, and this will bring more effectiveness in our tertiary education institutions. So, I think Ghana is not doing badly. We can do more with the right interventions being put in place by the government. We are persuaded that tertiary education will be able to deliver more than we are doing now. We are letting you people know that this practice must stop. You see, we're also talking about legislation. We are looking at legislation that will make it difficult for persons to use these titles. And I think when the legislation is enforced, it will minimize the gang. But you see, morally, if you even put legislation aside, morally, if you don't earn a certificate through the academic track, you don't use it. Simple. Unless you lack self-confidence, you don't use it. Go and sit in the classroom and earn it.
So on yearly basis.
And I want to put on record that nobody is envious of anybody being called a doctor. Nobody is envious of that. We are worried about the abuse and how it can affect doctoral programs in this country. And it had the potential of affecting it, brothers and sisters. Because if I can pay for it and get it, why do I go and sit in a classroom and spend 3 years or 4 years and get it? It wouldn't make sense. Let us all fight together to make sure that this thing is nipped in the bud. Because some people have money. You see, because they have money and they can pay, they do that. You know what I mean? Some even pay as low as $3,000 or $2,000 and they are called doctors. What kind of society are we building?